Walter Wealth Management, Dan Geltrude, America's accounting, as they say, the CPA and market analyst extraordinaire. Laura Fink. Dan, you're one of those fat cats, Dan, and I understand. But, Dan, you're one of those fat cats, and the notion is that Wall Street's had it easy. The big boys who've been investing and doing so well, it's time that they pay, you've heard it before, their fair share. This is a step in that direction. What do you say?
Well, that's the headline, right, Neil? That's what draws people into the argument of we got to stick it to the man. But that's not true. Look, I said from the very beginning, when Joe Biden was talking about that he was going to raise taxes, believe him. When he said he was only going to raise taxes on the rich and corporations, that's where you stop believing him, because this tax is going to be passed through to anyone who has a trade. And to then say you're going to take that money and make college free or to forgive college debt makes no sense, because they're not related. The whole thing about the college debt, Neil, is it's not that it's not too expensive. It is. But people are not managing the return on their investment related to going to school. If you want to go to Harvard, which is fine, majoring in becoming a librarian, and not that there's anything wrong with that, is probably not a great return on investment. So look at where you're going based upon how much money you've spent on your education.
You know, it's uniting, Dan Geltrude, Republicans and Democrats that said, all right, we got to look into this. And earlier I spoke to Senator Marshall of Kansas on this, who said, and maybe because AMC is in his state, that it bears watching. This is from Senator Marshall a little while ago.
How many people would watch the Super Bowl if we changed the rules at halftime? And that's what I feel like a lot of investors feel like, that everyone deserves equal opportunity to make money on Wall Street. We got to be careful here, not overreact, but let's take a dive and see, why did they pull the rug out from under us?
All right, that sounds like the old Ronald Reagan here. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. But what do you make of that?
Well, Neil, I'm not against the government having an investigation into what happened and figuring it all out. But the most important thing here, in my opinion, is that we're maintaining a level playing field. And when things started to shut down, it became an unlevel playing field. Now, there's no reason for the government to believe that they have to start babysitting investors. There's a parallel here to a gambler going into a casino. If that gambler loses their life savings because they got caught up in the emotion of the gambling, that is not something that the government should be stepping into to say, well, wait a minute, we have to look at what's happening, whether the house won too much or the investor lost too much. Ultimately, the market is going to straighten this out over time, because people got burned, and hopefully they're going to learn their lesson.
I'm going to end with Dan here. Dan, do you expect a bumpy ride Monday? Is this over, or could this get at least a little more volatile?
I think on Monday, Neil, the bumpy ride is going to continue. I don't think this is over. People still have positions, whether it's shorted or whether they're playing the shiny object that it's going to keep going up. This is going to continue for a little while. However, I do agree with Charlie, and not because I don't want to fight with him, because he's right. I think in the long run, this is not a systemic issue. It is just part of a bumpy road.
Right. But you will admit Charlie is rude, right? I think it's fair to say it's just a rude human being. All right, kidding. Guys, thank you all very, very much. We'll see.